Thank you so much for being here. My name is Carmen Chavez, and I am an associate professor in the Department of Communication Arts, and I'm also, thank you very much, also here as a representative of Comparative U.S. Studies, a group comprised of scholars on campus interested in American Studies, for which there's no academic program or department here at UW. I just have a few thank yous before I introduce my friend M. Adams, who will introduce our speaker today. So big thank you to Nan Enstead, Sarah McKinnon, Lori Quito Lopez, Brenda Gale Plummer, Steve Kankowitz, and Russ Castronovo for various sorts of help. Also thank you to the Anonymous Fund for money. I want to give a shout out to the folks who set up this room for us, Kate and Michael, who are hanging out somewhere in here. Thanks so much to them. Also Christine Steiner. And the facility folks who clean up this room for us. Be sure to leave it as you found it, which was sparkly clean. We appreciate that. And also want to thank folks from the Young Gifted and Black Coalition. This event is not possible without Young Gifted and Black. And while this is the second speaker in CUS's Racial Justice and Incarceration Speaker Series, we had Miriam Cava here in December. This is actually the inaugural event for Young Gifted and Black's Black Lives Matter Speaker Series. So in addition to the speaker today, you can look forward to the following events this spring, which are co-sponsored by Young Gifted and Black, Comparative U.S. Studies, and also the Haven Center. On February 13th at 5 p.m. in this room, we'll have Opal Tometi from the Black Alliance for Just Immigration and also a co-founder of Black Lives Matter. On March 5th at 7 p.m. across the way in L140, we'll have Simon Balta, who's a PhD student in history and who's going to talk to us about policing in Chicago. On March 10th and 11th, Brittany Cooper, the public intellectual and one of the founders of the Crunk Feminist Collective, is going to be here on campus. The Haven Center is actually responsible for bringing her, so be sure to visit thehavencenter.org for more information on that. That's March 10th and 11th. And then on April 16th at 7 p.m., right here in this room, we will have Beth Ritchie, professor from the University of Illinois Chicago, who studies criminalization of Black communities and gender violence. For more on all these events, you can go to cus.wisc.edu. Isn't that great? We got CUS as part of our website. So cus.wisc.edu, or you can on Facebook search for Ferguson to Madison. And now I'd like to introduce my friend M. Adams, who is a distinguished graduate of UW-Madison, community organizer, co-executive director of Freedom Inc., and was a leading figure in the Take Back the Land movement, and co-author of the little book, Forward from Ferguson, which, by the way, is for sale after this, out back for $4, along with Max Rameau's book, Take Back the Land, which is for sale for $15. Those are from Rainbow Bookstore Cooperative, so give them some love if you have a little extra cash to spend. Two other quick things. Please be sure to turn your cell phones off, and also there is a gender-neutral restroom out to the right of me for you to use. So give it up for M. Adams.
Thank you, and as we always say, all power to the people.
All power to the people.
So I'm very grateful and very happy to be introducing a dear friend of mine, both a personal and political mentor. So I'm thrilled in a lot of ways that Max Rameau is here to give us some political education, as that is much needed in any movement. Max Rameau is a nationally renowned Haitian-born Pan-African theorist, campaign strategist, organizer, and author. After moving from Washington, D.C. to Miami in 1991, Max began organizing around a broad range of human rights issues impacting low-income Black communities, including immigrant rights, economic justice, LGBTQ rights, voting rights, particularly for ex-felons, police abuse, and other issues. As a result of the devastating impacts of gentrification taking root during the housing boom in the summer of 2006, Max helped found an organization which eventually became known as the Take Back the Land movement, to address how the Black community could address the root causes of gentrification by taking back community control for land and working to decommodify land. In October 2006, Take Back the Land seized control of a vacant lot in the Liberty City section of Miami and built the Umoja Village, a full urban shantytown, populated and managed by houseless and housing insecure residents. In 2008, Max authored the book, Take Back the Land, recounting the experiences and political theory behind the Umoja Village. Remember that it's for sale after the event. The book has been used in several colleges and universities. The local organization inspired a national version, the Take Back the Land movement, which was a translocal network of organizations engaged in land liberation and eviction defenses in pursuit of the human rights of housing and community control over land. Max also worked with local activists here in town on the Take Back the Land Madison. One of Take Back the Land's central contributions to the movement was shifting the conversation from merely foreclosures and mortgage principal reductions to community control over land, the human right to housing, and employing the lens of race, gender, and class. In addition to his work on housing and land, Max Rameau is an important thinker on movement building and community organizing, and has emerged as a key thinker on how to address the issue of police violence. Rameau is the co-author of the little book, Forward from Ferguson, which articulates political objectives for effective anti-police abuse campaigns and promotes a human rights framework. As Nathan Schneider wrote of the book, From Waging Violence, in addition to a different rhetoric, seeing the problems of racist policing and mass incarceration in light of human rights means new strategies. For one thing, it means more opportunities for solidarity with communities facing violations of other human rights all over the world. It also means not treating the U.S. government as the ultimate arbiter, but also bringing rights violations before international organizations like the United Nations. The author suggests a variety of local, national, and international movement-centered demands for the movement growing out of Ferguson. Read it, debate it, build upon it. Rameau's talk today will expand on the demands offered in the book. It is titled, Forward from Ferguson, The Case for Community Control Over the Police. All power to the people.